The 2014 Ducati 1199 Panigale. The 2014 Ducati 1199 Panigale is one of the strongest motorcycles developed by the Italian manufacturer. Its performances are nothing short of excellent and is hard to find it any serious faults. The build quality is top-notch, the ergonomics are faultless and the technologies hidden under its skin will make your jaw drop. The motorcycle's architecture is also pretty unique as its engine has been designed as the structural element of the frame, a modern layout that offers a great weight distribution. The 1198cc Superquadro L twin-cylinder Desmodromic liquid-cooled unit delivers a maximum output of 143 kilowatts, 195 HP at 10,750 rpm and 132 newton meters, 98.1 lb-ft of torque at 9,000 rpm. The engine needs to deal with a wet weight of only 195 kilograms and is fed by a 17 liters fuel tank. Priced at $20,995, the 1199 Panigale doesn't come cheap, but it certainly deserves every penny. Hit the jump for more information on the 2014 Ducati 1199 Panigale. Overview. The beauty of performance. Supreme performance, superlative technology, magnetic personality, enthralling design, on track or on road there's nothing to beat the 1199 Panigale. Concept. Checkmate. The new Superquadro 195 HP engine is exquisitely incorporated into the monocoque chassis. Engineering solutions marked by an innovation in details have been implemented to take the dry weight down to an incredible 164 kg. Ducati styling inside and out is further enhanced by the most exclusive components. Cutting-edge electronics unleash power and refine riding precision, and with a power-to-weight ratio of 1.19 HP per kilogram, there's nothing like it in the world. 1199 Panigale, 5 moves to become the new and extreme standard of reference in sport bikes. The beauty of performance. With supreme performance, superlative technology and magnetic design, the 1199 Panigale is the unrivaled protagonist on the road and on the track. Extreme standard of reference. The 1199 Panigale sets a new and extreme standard of reference in the world of supersport bikes. The project that brought the 1199 Panigale into being based itself on two seemingly impossible objectives, which have been brilliantly achieved: a 10 kg reduction in weight and a 25 HP increase in power. Its arrival is a milestone in the glorious history of the Ducati superbike. Engine. Architecture. The engine has been designed as the structural element of the frame. As such, its architecture has been completely reviewed to ensure the best design in terms of structure, weight distribution and robustness. The cylinders, at a 90 degrees angle of each other, have been rolled back an additional 6 degrees on the crankcase to produce a 21 degrees angle between the front cylinder and the horizontal plane. This has allowed the engine to go forward by 32 mm, as a result improving the distribution of weights between the front and rear end and achieving the perfect position of the fastening points of the cylinder heads into the monocoque chassis of the 1199 Panigale. Essential Desmo. The need to control the enlarged valves with the extremely precise Desmodromic system prompted engineers to replace the original belt transmission, mounted on the first Ducati Panta in 1979, with a configuration mixing both chain and gears. As a result, the chain timing allows an efficient transmission of the motion between crankshaft and camshaft transmission, and thanks to the automatic tensioning adjustment, ensures constant reliability and a reduction in routine maintenance costs. Extreme bore-stroke ratio. The new bore-stroke ratio of 1.84, 112 mm bore, 60.8 mm stroke has superbly increased the revolutions thanks to the ultra-short stroke of the crankshaft, while the larger surface of the piston has led to an increase in valve diameter. Compared to the 1198 Testastretta Evoluzione engine, the intake valves have gone from 43.5 to 46.8 mm and exhaust valves from 34.5 to 38.2 mm. Intake. The increased amount of air and fuel the engine can mix due to the larger diameter of intake valves is guaranteed by the new oval-section throttle bodies, which compared to a 63.9 equivalent diameter as on the 1198 Testastretta Evoluzione has been increased to an incredible 67.5 mm. The throttle bodies are controlled by a full ride-by-wire system, each separate from the other, and are fitted with 2 injectors each. The first is set below the throttle and feeds the engine in conditions of low load use, whereas the second is fitted above the throttle, is activated when the engine is given the command to unleash its maximum performance. Magnesium covers. The clutch covers, the cylinder head covers and the oil pan are all produced in a magnesium alloy casting to ensure the lowest weight of the engine while guaranteeing the desired mechanical strength. Lubrication. The journals of the main bearings are lubricated by pressurized oil admitted through ducts inside the engine block. This serves to assure the efficient lubrication of the new crankshaft, followed by a rapid recovery of the oil thanks to a new Ducati component, a lobe pump that places the connecting rod compartment under vacuum, similar to the engines used for the MotoGP races. The pump is driven by gears built in a special high-strength technopolymer and maintains the crankcase area below the pistons in controlled conditions of constant vacuum, thereby reducing the resistance during the downward travel and assuring an efficient recovery of lubricating oil in any condition of engine use. Superquadro breathing. After achieving the goal of improving engine breathing, the Superquadro engineers turned their attention to the next challenge, to attain an engine calibration that optimally combines the high-performance delivery with regular operation achieved by reducing the cyclic dispersion of combustion. To obtain this, Ducati introduced a system of secondary air that completes oxidization of the unburnt hydrocarbons, effectively reducing the levels of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide (CO). The system is controlled by an electronic valve commanded by the engine control unit and is activated according to the specific condition of engine operation. This valve makes it possible to let in the exhaust pipe of each cylinder head, in a position slightly downstream of the exhaust valve, a flow of clean air originating directly from the airbox. A second reed valve located in the engine head makes this flow unidirectional. The controlled inlet of oxygen makes it possible to complete the combustion of outgoing hot gases, eliminating eventual fractions of unburnt fuel which in certain conditions can reach the exhaust. Crankcase. The crankcases, produced through a vacuum casting technology called vacuole, ensure a maximum reduction in weight, a uniform wall thickness and superior mechanical strength, and are designed in such a way to incorporate the water jacket around the cylinder barrels. The Superquadro engine is fitted with aluminum wet barrels coated in nickel inserted into the holes of the engine block's housing during the initial stages of assembly. This design allows the head to be fastened directly onto the crankcase, combining the needs for rigidity of the engine's structure with a significant advantage in terms of compactness. Due to their thin walls, the barrels also achieve an effective thermal exchange with the coolant running along the walls. In addition to the barrels, the crankcase stands out for the use of main bearing shells, previously utilized only in the Ducati Desmodromic RR engine. The elimination of the ball bearings has made it possible to increase the diameter of the journals for the main bearings of the crankshaft, allowing an increase in the section of the engine block in the area surrounding the main bearing journals so as to maximize the rigidity and the mechanical strength and adapt it to the extreme power of the Superquadro. Decompressor. At the extremity of the exhaust camshaft of each cylinder head is a centrifugal decompressor. On startup, the device allows the profile of the cam opening lobe to be modified, resulting in a slight lift of the valve that discharges part of the mix contained in the combustion chamber during the engine's compression phase. This effect makes it possible to reduce the resistance to the motion of the piston in the compression phase. Once the engine is started, the increase in RPMs and the relative centrifugal force modify the configuration of the device, cancelling the effect of the valve lift and bringing the engine back to normal operating conditions. This ingenious device facilitates the starting of the Superquadro engine without having to use a more powerful battery and a large starting motor, in turn making it possible to reduce the overall weight of the vehicle by 3.3 kg. The system further underlines the synergistic strength achieved by engineers and designers in the intense effort to reduce the bike's weight. Transmission. Ducati engineers took their design freedom to the limit by increasing the distance between centers of the 6-speed gearbox shafts and allowing the use of wheels with an increased diameter and superior strength for the transmission of power delivered. The oil bath clutch is a new feature for a Ducati superbike at the top of the range. The design of the clutch, very similar to the Multistrada and Diavel models, provides for a progressive system which allows the load to be increased on plates without penalizing the effort required by the rider to pull the lever and disengage the clutch. This optimally satisfies both the need of high torque transmission and an optimum comfort for the rider. In sport riding conditions with abrupt shifting down and heavy exhaust braking, the same mechanism reduces the pressure on clutch plates, allowing them to slip as in a racing system, contrasting with the loss of stability of the rear end during aggressive shifting down and offering the supplementary advantage of an excellent modulability during hard braking into corners. Chassis. Monocoque technology. The 1199 Panigale's chassis marks an enormous innovation. Different components have been integrated to give shape to a single compact and lightweight element that enhances the rider's posture to perfect the riding position. The monocoque structure in cast aluminium for increased strength uses the Superquadro engine as a structural element and aids in reducing the bike's total weight by 5 kg. The monocoque frame is fixed directly to the cylinder head, and at front are two aluminium bushings inserted with the steering tube bearings. In addition to performing the traditional function of frame, the monocoque also acts as an air box and significantly contributes to lowering the overall weight of the motorcycle. Housed inside, besides the air filter, are the throttle bodies and fuel circuit complete with injectors, and the bottom of the aluminium tank, lighter by 1.9% compared to the 1198, is used as a cover for the airbox. Exhaust system. The layout of the exhaust manifolds is 2x1x2 with twin tailpipe under the sump. The design of the exhaust assembly is a work of highly refined engineering. The ends have a complex exterior shape due to the size restrictions necessitated by the deep sump of the engine on the interior and the leaning angle on the exterior. The primary manifolds have a 55 mm diameter, the central manifolds a 57 mm. They are built in stainless steel and have a thickness of 0.8 mm, with only the two short exits from the cylinder heads having a larger thickness 1.0 mm to better resist vibrations. Even the silencers are in stainless steel with exception of the outer sleeve or outer jackets in aluminium alloy with a 2 mm thickness, result of a process of pre-deep drawing, rolling and longitudinal welding. The reflection silencers have 3 chambers. In this application the chamber layout is especially complex with respect to the traditional design used for the 1198 because the exhaust gas enters from the rear with respect to the direction of travel inside the silencer and exits again from the outside rear. From a construction perspective, this also implied a complex design, and at several stations of deep drawing of the aesthetic rear end cap, the catalytic converters are positioned at the inlet of the silencers and have dimensions of 80 mm by 74.5 mm. Ergonomics. New ergonomic guidelines assure a perfect integration between rider and the motorcycle. The saddle handlebar height has been lowered by 30 mm and the handlebar has been raised by 10 mm and broadened by 32 mm. Innovative suspension. On all models of the 1199 Panigale, the fork legs are set at an increased distance between centers, typical of racing bikes in the Superbike World Championship. Thanks to this detail, even the brake discs have a greater width when mounted to allow optimal cooling in any condition of use. The 1199 Panigale carries the brand new Marzocchi pressurized fork with 50 mm upside-down legs. Exceedingly lightweight, it has anodized aluminium legs and forged fork axle lugs in aluminium. Fully adjustable in compression and rebound and spring preload, it features a pressurized hydraulic system that utilizes a smaller amount of oil for each leg, a factor that significantly contributes to a weight reduction. The rear suspension consists of a fully adjustable Sachs rear monoshock. The rear suspension on the 1199 Panigale is mounted laterally to make the unit easily accessible when adjustments are required. The system has also been designed to enable linkage adjustment, which leads to 2 possible configurations of the rear suspension: progressive for road use with a passenger, and flat for use on the track. Rims. The 1199 Panigale mounts newly designed black 10-spoke rims, 3.5 inches at front and 6 inches at rear, which allow an even faster change in direction and improved performance both on acceleration and during braking. They also guarantee a reduction in weight of 0.5 kilograms with respect to the previous versions. Weight distribution. The 1199 Panigale features a distribution of weights equivalent to 52% at the front and 48% at the rear without the rider. The ratio then becomes an optimal 50-50 when the rider is on the seat to guarantee absolute stability and handling. To achieve this optimal configuration, solutions were implemented to allow a concentration of the weights at the front. The engine has come forward 32 mm compared to the 1198. The exhaust system is placed under the engine. The rider's position is advanced by 30 mm. Added to all this is the new single-sided swingarm in 100% cast aluminium secured directly to the rear of the engine, longer than the 1198 by 39 mm. Equipment: full TFT instrument panel. The instrument panel on the 1199 Panigale takes the revolutionary TFT panel designed for the Diavel to another, even superior, level by applying the most highly advanced technology in the field of data visualization. The color display's configuration is variable and automatically adapts to the variations in environmental light and to the selected riding mode. In the road and wet riding modes, speed takes center stage and is displayed in large numbers in the middle of the display, whereas the two boxes containing supplementary information underneath provide data on total mileage and engine coolant temperature. In the race riding mode, the display layout is automatically reconfigured, shifting the display of the vehicle's speed in the lower information box at left and making room for the last lap time, centrally displayed in large numbers. Braking system. As an exclusive feature, the 1199 Panigale is equipped with the brand new M50 monoblock calipers. Sporting an extremely compact design that has led to a weight reduction of 7% with respect to the previous system and machined out of a single alloy block, the M50 calipers offer higher rigidity and deformation resistance during the hardest braking. LED lights. Another detail that gives this new superbike its total racing look is the twin headlamp at front, designed to be an integral part of the front air scoops. The double LED lights at rear harmoniously wrap around the air vents in the seat tail assembly and, when turned on, create an alluring effect of signaling lights enhanced by stoplights. LED has also been used for the front and rear turn indicators and the number plate light. Engine brake control (EBC). The engine braking control system (EBC) works in combination with the slipper clutch to prevent and manage any blockage of the rear wheel when aggressively shifting down. If the system detects any slipping of the wheel, it sends a signal to the control device of the engine, which then slightly increases the RPMs until the rear wheel resumes a speed conforming to that of the vehicle. Riding mode. The riding modes are programmed to instantly vary the engine's power mode and suspension setup, in addition to the ABS, DTC and EBC levels. The available modes, race, sport and wet, are the result of the combination of highly advanced dedicated technologies. The rider atop the 1199 Panigale can choose among 3 different preset configurations riding modes that best adapt to the riding style or conditions of the trajectory. The riding modes make it possible to instantly modify the power delivered by the engine power mode, the activation levels of the ABS when present, DTC, DQS and EBC, the graphics on the instrument panel and, on the S&R version, the suspension setup day. The available configurations for the 1199 Panigale include race, sport and wet, with the rider left to customize the pre-configured settings of each riding mode as he pleases. Ducati Quick Shift (DQS). The Ducati Quick Shift (DQS) is the electronic system that manages the gearbox and is used in competitions. It allows the gear to be engaged on acceleration without the use of the clutch and while maintaining the throttle open. The feature enables the rider to gain precious fractions of seconds, helping to considerably reduce lap times. Ducati Traction Control (DTC). The Ducati Traction Control (DTC) monitors control of the slipping of the rear tire and operates on the basis of 8 different levels of interaction, each of which has been programmed to respond to a different tolerance to rear slipping. Each riding mode is assigned a preset level of activation. Level 8 indicates an activation of the system at the detection of the slightest slipping, while Level 1, reserved for very expert riders, has a higher tolerance and thus a less invasive intervention of the system. Tires. As an exclusive, all 1199 Panigale motorcycles sport new Pirelli Diablo Supercorsa SP tires, the road version of the tire used in the Superstock 1000 World Championship, 120/70ths ZR17 at front and 255ths X ZR17 at rear, the widest ever mounted on a Ducati superbike designed for the road. Designed to maintain precise trajectories on straight stretches and around curves, the rear 255ths X ZR17 tire maximizes the area of contact and the leaning speed by combining the 200 mm width with a higher profile. The tires have structures and compounds deriving directly from the Pirelli experience in the Superbike World Championship, and feature casings specially studied to guarantee rigidity in extreme braking and shoulders that maximize the area of contact. In addition, the double compound obtained by using new polymers facilitates the rapid heating of the tires and assures a constant grip. Specifications.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.